Okay, everybody, here we are. We are on to the next lesson, right? So make sure that you have paper and pencil out ready to take notes as we're about to get started. All right? So as always, we always start with the title of our lesson, right? In this case, this one is called, let me make sure that I have the right size highlighter here, Sketch Graph for a line, right? So we're going to sketch a graph from a line, right? From an equation, okay? So what we're looking for here is called, change color here, slope-intercept form. This right here is called the slope-intercept form. And it reads exactly the way you see it. Y equals mx plus b. Slope-intercept form, or y equals mx plus b. Okay? So the two important pieces here in this equation, as you can see, have arrows next to them, right? The m and the b. Those are the two important pieces in this equation. Now with m, we already know what m is, right? M is equal to slope. Right? M is equal to slope. So this m right here, I'm going to zoom it in there. Right? This m, I'm going to do this here, that there, right? This m is equal to slope. And we already knew this, right? So this m is found after y equals, look at that, it's right after y equals, and before x. So it's right in the middle there, right? After y equals and before x is our slope, is our m, right? So the second thing that we notice here is b. Right? B. Where is b? Well, b is at the end of the equation. Look, this is right, our equation. Y is the beginning of our equation, and b is at the end of the equation. So what b stands for is the y-intercept. Let me go. Is y it looks like a C, like an E, sept. Okay? Y-intercept. And let me color this B here, just like this. Right? This is B. Okay? And B is at the end of our equation here, at the end, and b represents the y-intercept. So literally, whatever is b means where the line touches our y-axis, right? And the y-axis we know goes up and down. So this is the y-axis, and this is the x-axis, right? The y-axis is the one that goes up and down. Okay? So let's keep that in mind. So y equals mx plus b. Slope-intercept form, right? With m being our important part and b being another important part of this equation. All right? Now let's look at our bullet points here. So the first bullet point says graph b for first point. So we're going to graph b to find our first point. Whatever b is on the y line, right? Because it's the y-intercept, we're going to graph our first point. Next, it says use slope to graph second point. So we're going to use slope to graph second point, right? This one says graph B for first point, right? Then it says you slope to graph the second point, okay? Finally, third bullet point there is form a line passing through both points. So we're going to form a line passing through both points. Look at that. Form a line passing through both points. All right. So that being said, let us do our first example here. As always, we always make sure that we read our instructions first. And the instructions here say sketch the graph of each line. Okay? So we have to sketch the graph of each line. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to notice that this is in slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. Look at that. Y equals mx plus b. So our slope here is in pink. So let me change here. So this is my slope, right? It's between the y equals and the x. So y equals and x, that's my slope. And in purple is our y-intercept, is at the end of the equation. At the end of this equation is a positive 4. So we're going to identify b first. B is equal to positive 4. And our slope, or m, is equal to negative 5 over 3. So let us now graph, right? Our first bullet point says here, graph B for first point. So this says B equals 4, right? So on the y-axis, which is this one here, where is positive 4 on this y-axis? Of course, it is right here. There is positive 4. Look at that. Okay. Now, we are going to use our slope to find our second point. Now, if we notice here, our slope is m is equal to negative 5 over 3. Well, negative 5 means I go down 5 because it's a negative 5, and I go over 3, positive 3 to the right 3. So I'm going to go down 5 and to the right 3, and then I'm going to put a point. So let's see. I'm going to go down 5, so I'm going to start here on my first point, and I'm going to move down 5. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now remember, I got to do both of these moves before I put a point. So I went down 5. Now I got to go to the right 3. So this is where I left off. I'm going to go to the right 3. 1, 2, 3. And this is my second point right there. Look at that. All right. Then finally, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line that goes through both of those points. Right? So I'm going to go just like this. Look at that. Perfect. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it a little more like that. And I'm going to make arrows. And there you go. I have graphed this equation. Look at that. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right. Let's move on to number 2. So, again, look at this. This is in y equals mx plus b form. Slope-intercept form. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find my b. My b is at the very end of the equation, right? My b is 4. Right? So I can write here b is equal to 4. Second, I'm going to find my m, and my m is between y equals and x, and that's 4 over 5, right? And I used pink for that. So this is 4 over 5. So my m, or my slope, is equal to 4 over 5. Well, that 4 over 5, that's a positive 4, so I'm going to move up 4. And then that 5 is to the right 5. So up 4 over 5. So where do I begin? I always start with my b, my y-intercept. And my b here is a positive 4. So I go here to positive 4. Look at that. Okay. So next I'm going to move up 4 and over 5. Okay. So let's see. So let's move up 4 and over 5. 1, 2. Wait a minute. I don't have any room. What the heck do I do? I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go backwards. So instead of going up 4, I'm going to go down 4. Right? I'm going to go down 4. And then instead of moving to the right 5, I'm going to go left 5. So I'm going to go down 4 and left 5. So let's do that. So from my point here, I'm going to go down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So I went down 4 and left 5. So I'm going to go left 5 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that is where my second point goes. Look at that. So now I can make my line that goes through both points. Look at that. I'm going to make it extra long here. And then I'm going to, perfect, there you go. And then I'm going to, come on, I got to move it. I got to move it. Wait, can I move? Yeah, I did move it over. How do I move this one over? What did I do? What did I do? No. How do I move it? Oh, there we go. Look at that. Like that. And then I'm putting an arrow in one end, an arrow in the other end. And there is my graph for number 2. Right? Look at that. Now, I know you're asking yourself, Mister, how am I going to do an assignment like this? I don't have graph paper. I don't want to draw all these lines. I get you. I get you. So I have a solution. And let's take a look. So these are our notes, right? Let us move here to Schoology. Okay. This is Schoology here. Right. Okay. So you're going to have your assignment here, right? the name of the assignment. You're going to have sample assignment, right? I'm putting anything else. Submit evidence of work. That's always on there, right? Mr. M is an awesome dude. Blah, 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 blah. Then it's going to say, everyone, open and complete the assignment below with Cami. Okay? Open and complete the assignment below with Cami. So I'm going to have the assignment attached right here, the PDF. So what you have to do, everyone, is you have to click on here where it says open with Cami. So look what happens when we click on open with Cami. Okay? We're going to click on that. We're going to open a separate tab. Right? I'm going to log in with Google. Okay? And look at that. There's the assignment. Look at that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in a little more. And I'm going to do number 1 here. So I'm going to draw here. I'm going to pick my pink or purple. Right? And I'm going to find my M first. My B first. I'm sorry. B is equal to 4. All right. Next, I'm going to find my M. My M is here in the middle. Look at that. M is equal to, now I'm using my mouse here. Look, I put click, negative, and then click, and I draw a 5. Click, draw a line, click, I drag, and draw a 3. Look at that. So my y-intercept is 4, and my slope is down 5 over 3. So on my y line, I'm going to go to 4. Right? I'm going to pick a different, I want to go back to pink again. So I'm going to go to positive 4 because this is a positive 4 right here. So I'm going to draw positive 4 just like that. Now my slope says that I should go negative 5, down 5, and positive 3 means I should go to the right 3. So from here, I'm going to go down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Click and drag every time. And then to the right 3. 1, 2, 3. And that is where I click and draw a circle to make my second point. Look at that. Now I'm going to go over here on the right side. I went to drawing, right? So I can draw these, and be careful. If I want to go down a little bit on the screen, I have to go back to select. And, right? And, oh, yes. There you go. Right? Or I use 2 fingers on the mouse pad and I go up and down like that. So now what I want to do is I want to create a line. So I go to here, shapes. Everybody see here, shapes? I'm going to click on that and look, insert line. Insert rectangle, insert ellipse, insert triangle. I want to insert line. So I'm going to click on that. Now I'm going to go over here to my first point here, and I'm going to click and drag all the way down to my second point, and I'm even going to pass it a little bit just like that. Okay? And the reason I'm going to do that is because, look, I'm going to go back to select here. Is it hand tool? Let's see. Yes. And I'm going to make my line a little bit like that. And I'm going to go back to drawing, and I'm going to pick black, and I'm going to make my arrow that way, arrow that way, arrow, arrow, and there, kiddos, is my, I'm going to zoom out a little bit here. There's my number 1. And let's compare it to my number 1 here. Look at that. It's the same. Right? Perfect. Done with number 1. So I'm going to use my mouse pad and I'm going to move over to the right here, and I'm going to do number 2 now. Zoom in a little bit. Move the mouse pad over. I'm going to click on pink, and I'm going to find B first. B is equal to, right? I'm clicking and dragging to make these lines. 4. And my M is between y equals x. M is equal to 4 over 5, right? 4 over, see, clicking every time, and then drawing with my sketch pad. And that means go up 4 and to the right 5. Right? So I'm going to start on my B equals to 4. So on my y-axis, I'm going to start with 4, positive 4. Look at that right there. Right? Now it says go up 4. But as you saw in the example in the notes, I can't go up 4. So I'm going to turn everything backwards. So I'm going to make this up 4 into a down 4. And I'm going to make this to the right 5 into to the left 5. So I'm going to go down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And left 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. And that's where I put my second point, right? There you go. And then I'm going to go to Shapes again, and I'm going to click on Insert Line, and I'm going to put a point here on my green, and I'm going to click and drag all the way past through the purple, pink, I don't know, what color is that? I'm going to go to Select, I'm going to go to the Hand tool, and I'm going to come over here and click on the line, and I'm going to make it go through all the way through both. And I'm going to go back to Drawing, and I'm going to pick black, and I'm going to draw my arrows. Arrow, 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 arrow. And there, kiddos, is my number 2. And there is both number 1 and 2. Right? So when you're done with your assignment, you're going to come over here where it says Turn In. When you finish the assignment, all 6 problems, you're going to click Turn In. Right? Yes, looks good, I'm done. You're going to click on Turn In. It's going to export, mean it's taking it out of Cami, but with me, unfortunately, it shows this because I have a teacher account, right? But with you guys, it's a student account. And once you hit Turn In, you're going to turn it in, and I'm going to see it as a teacher that you turned it in. All right? There we go. We're all ready to go. You're going to turn it in. You're going to do great sketching, and it's going to be good. All right? So thank you for being here. Good luck. You got this. Turn in your work, okay, guys?